2 lines over here, and 1 line straight through. So as you can hopefully see, I've got 6 squares. Okay. So I've got my pesto, and I'm going to put it, because I'm doing it square, I'm going to put it on a triangle over here. Nice thick layer of pesto. This is what's giving it a really good taste.
Okay.
Also will make it look really, really good, because when you cut it, you've got the different colors. Now I'm going to take, this is my canned salmon, nice red salmon. Take some, and again, just layer it on top of the pesto. Here we go. And voila, all over the top, as you can all see clearly. And press down.
Press down. You know where the word pesto comes from? Pesto is actually Italian for the pound, crush. Be pounded and crushed. Unfortunately, we've had too much pounding and crushing recently, and we've had enough of it, and we've got all the beautiful flavor. So this coming year, we are now going to give out all the good flavor we've had. Pounding is in the back, and the good, tasty pesto with salmon is going to be for the coming year.
Okay, so now you've got these 2, and what we're going to do.
Egg. There we go.
Always check bread.
And
some people only use the yolk, but then I have to think what to use the whites for. So I just use the whole lot, and I find it comes out just fine. And I'm going to brush it nicely, really well, because I want it to have that golden color when it comes out. So if you don't want to have a piece of fish for every meal, or you're concerned about how much to make, this is great as a snack. It's great as a meal. The older children love it when I make it for supper. The younger children don't eat anyway. Voila! Salmon and tuna bacon, you've got to work out which one is which. And then it goes.
What temperature?
180, and it takes about 45 minutes. You want to see it nice and crusty, glowing. I always think it looks glowing when it comes out. It's really puffed up. And some people like it hot, other people prefer, they say the flavor, you just get the puff pastries everywhere. It crunches too much and falls apart. So other people like to wait till it's cold and eat it then. But you really can eat it. Either it goes in the fridge. Have I frozen it? Yes. If you freeze it straight, once it's cold, you can put it in the oven, put it in the freezer, and then reheat it like this. It's a really good, versatile way of making fish, and it's almost a little meal to go. Okay, over to you, because I'm going to just clean up this
Clean up a little bit. Those people who were in shul on Shabbos are going to know the answer to this one. But if you think of your kitchen, what's the one word that you come up with? Think of your kitchen and think of one word. I'm going to try and read your mind, okay? You're thinking of one word? Yeah? Now, the word you haven't thought of, I can't tell you what you have thought of. That good I'm not. But I'll tell you there's one word you have not thought of, and that is holy. Anybody thought of holy? No. There we go. That's the feat of mind reading. You didn't think of holy. A kitchen actually is a holy place because we're told to be an Am Kadosh, holy people. That means we have to be holy 24/7. And that doesn't mean we're sitting in the synagogue when we're holy, or when it's Yom Kippur, we have a holy day. It's 24/7, whatever we do. So even when we're in the kitchen, before we start, well, it's usually a better idea, or when I remember, is you can make your kitchen a holy place. Because take your coin, we start in the morning, drop it in the charity box. You've just made the whole cooking experience coupled, married together with charity. Charity is an act of holiness. You're bringing heaven down to earth. You're helping people. Therefore, your kitchen can be a holy place. You can have the same, have a stocker box in your kitchen. Have it on the wall in the kitchen. Have a stocker box in your car. Who's got a stocker box in their car? Make your car a holy place. Look at that. Or in your work. If you've got a workplace, have a stocker box. You never know. People come in and they drop a charity box, a coin in the box. There we go. And Yala, we're ready now to move on to the challah. Now we're making what? Round challah, you say?
So, because it's Rosh Hashana, we go away from the traditional pattern loaf and we make round challahs instead. The meaning of a round challah, the idea, the concept behind the round challah is?
So, a round challah. Why choose this? The question is, why on earth are we doing all these things? Does it really make a difference if I've got a round challah or a bit of apple dipped in honey? Or does it really make a difference if I'm going to have a bit of fish so I can be the head and not the tail? Is that really going to make a difference? But actually, it's more than that. Because all the symbolic foods we have over this time are in a way to bring down, to make, to concretize, I don't know if there's such a word like that, but to really solidify and to put into day-to-day life the positive energy from heaven and bring it into the year ahead. So we want to be able to put our mind in the right place, our thoughts is going to be positive, and we want to say, come on, we're making a vessel. We're doing good things, we're being positive, and Hashem, let the blessing flow into it. And therefore, one of the things we have, we make our challahs round. Some people say because round has no end. There's no beginning and end to a challah, to a round circle. Therefore, the year should be one with blessing at the beginning, middle, end. There's no beginning, middle, end. The blessing all the way through. Or another one, it should be continuous, exactly, continuous goodness. Or another idea is why we have round challahs is because the theme of Rosh Hashana is crowning Hashem as king. Making, saying Hashem, we're yours, you're a king, we're your people. We're here to do Torah mitzvahs, we're here to be Jews. So, challahs, around challahs, some people say, symbolize a crown. The theme of Rosh Hashana.
Okay, so let's make a round challah. A round challah should be a simple thing. It should be a really simple thing. But before we make the challah, we all know if you make a big batch of dough, the one thing you need to do is before you start making the dough, you take a portion off, because we always remember that in the time of the Holy Temple, they would separate off a portion and give it to the Kohen, give it to the priest. We don't want to forget what to do. Because please God, very soon, when Mashiach does come, we're all going to have to do it. So if we had stopped doing it for the last 2,000 years, everyone would be like, what? My mother never did that. I'm not doing that.
Oh.
So we keep doing it till today because we're going to be ready. No one's going to catch us unaware. Okay, so hold on a second. Just need the challah dough back down because it's had some nice time to grow. I'm going to cover it over and make the bracha. One of the things, when you make the bracha, this is a time between myself and God. And you can all join in and think of the prayer, the wish that you want for the coming year. That time when you make the bracha and take off the challah is a very special moment. So have in mind your thoughts, your wishes, what you would like for the coming year.
Amen.
This is the challah. With this mitzvah that we've done, we as a community, each person as a family, each person as an individual, should be blessed with a true Shana, Tova, or Masuka, a happy, sweet, and healthy new year. May all our worries, anxiety, health issues, financial issues disappear as a rock is thrown into the ocean. There's no trace that it was ever dropped. And may we truly celebrate the new year, the way the world's meant to be, the way God created it to be, in Jerusalem, with our temple, with Mashiach now.
So,
I'm now going to put this away. I'm going to burn it later. Because right now the temple hasn't arrived between me saying this, the bracha, so we'll have to sort it out later. But one day it will be there. Okay, so you have the typical. Hold on, let's put this over here. It might give you, hope you can all see it. You have a typical round challah, which you probably all know really well. As we say, make a snake and turn it round. And
yeah,
I'm going to get the rabbi working because otherwise this is going to be too difficult. Okay, so you take the it and you make it round. Voila! What's so difficult? The thing is like this: if you have a small challah, it will hold, it will be nice, and it will be beautiful. What happens is when the challah gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and you want a nice big round challah, they tend to kind of flop and fall over themselves when you just make a simple round challah. I do wonder how the bakeries get them so perfect. So when I make my challah and I just make a big one, they don't look so good. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you a variety of ways to make the round challah. So I'm going to start off with 2 pieces. I've got the rabbi rolling one already.
good size.
Yeah, that looks
Look
good.
at that rabbinical training.
All these years, see, wasn't wasted.
Definitely.
See, everyone wants to know, how does the rabbi know all these things about how to roll challah, how fast tuna swim? The truth is, this is what they do in yeshiva. You think they study Jewish texts?
It's all in the Jewish text, that's all. It's something I went to look.
Okay, so here you are. Okay, so here you are. You've got your 2 pieces. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to twist them around each other. Very simply till the end. Squeeze tight at the bottom so it doesn't just unravel straight away. Put it down and do what I did before, just turn it in. That way you have a round challah, but you also have the pattern within it, and it will grow beautifully. Now for the next piece, anybody know how to weave? This is going to be, we're going to make a nice big challah. This will be like the centerpiece of our Rosh Hashana table. And for this, you can use 6 pieces, 8 pieces. It depends on what size you want it. I prefer to go for 6 strands because, again, in the temple, there was the showbread and there was always 12 loaves on it. So I make the 6th braid during the year to represent 2 lots of 6, and you've represented the showbread on your table. You've got 12 loaves on your table. So when it comes to Rosh Hashana, when we want to have our headspace in the right place, I want to keep incorporating that idea. So although I have seen this done with 8, I prefer to do it with 6. So we always keep forward focused that we're headed to Jerusalem. Okay, so now what I've got here is I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 pieces of dough here. Okay. There we go. Got a bit closer. Okay. We're going to do 3 this way, 3 down the middle, and 3 across. 1, 2, 3. But before I do that, I'm going to take these top 3 off. These 3 are flat, and I'm just going to simply weave top 1, over, under, over. This one is going to go under, over, under. This final one is going to go over, under, and over. So the middle part right here has been weaved, woven, doing well here. And then I've got 3 pieces of left over on this side, in each direction. Okay, this is really simple. All you have to do is, I'm starting with the middle one over here, over its neighbor, over its neighbor. Okay, I've done that one. Over its neighbor, over its neighbor. Pick up the next piece, over its neighbor, the next piece, over its neighbor, and the next piece, over its neighbor. Okay, I just went round anti-clockwise. I'm going to do it one more time. This time I'm going to go clockwise. Over its neighbor, over its neighbor, over its neighbor, over its neighbor, and over its neighbor. This is what it looks like now. Okay?
Well, unity there. What do you think it's joining in with your friend?
And then just lift it up and you will see it literally kind of folds under itself. Make sure all the strands will fold underneath. And you have a beautiful round challah. Now, as much as this is going to grow, it's not going to flop because the braiding will keep it tightly in place. Squeeze really hard. And there you go.
Look at that.
You have a beautiful challah. Make sure you give it lots of room to grow.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Now, we're going to, know what? Yeah, we're going to get to this. And it's ready to go. Okay, so there you go. You've got nice round color. But there's one more thing I want to show you. Because people have a custom that everything on Rosh Hashana should be sweet. Got to keep focused, especially this year. So what do? Challah is nice. So some people add a little bit of honey to the egg wash. But some people want to go the extra mile. So here was what you do. You've got your piece of challah, and instead of rolling it like this, we're actually going to roll it out flat. If you have a sweet tooth, this is a piece of heaven in a jar. Okay. Gets messy, so it's a good idea to get everything ready beforehand, because once you start putting the mixture in the middle, it seems to go everywhere. Okay. Take a bit of cocoa, ideal for baking. I've got my sugar here. And what I'm going to do is just spoon 2 teaspoons into the sugar and mix it up nicely. So you want to get a real good mixture here. Nice chocolate mixture. Okie dokie, here we go. You've got your nice chocolate mixture. And let's take a little bit of oil, because everything sweet is of course calorie free.
Oh, no, it's always calorie free.
Put the oil all over it, down the middle. And then the chocolate straight down the middle. When you bite into this, you won't be sure if it's the beginning of the meal or you're up to dessert. Or as we say, pre-dessert, dessert. Okay. Whoops. As you'll see, it starts to almost melt in, the oil melts into it. That's great. And now what I'm going to do, a bit like I did with the puff pastry, I'm going to fold it. Seal it inside. There we go. So what this looks like on the outside is a regular strand. There we go with the next one, fold it in. All the good is hidden inside, just like what's coming our way this year. Okay. 2 strands, remember how we do that? Just squeeze them together at the top, twist it carefully. And turn it in. Here we go, all the way around. Really good way to make sure is always tuck it under at the bottom. And there you go. Got your beautiful round challah. Beautiful on the outside, sweet on the inside, which was what we all want most. A good sweet year. Sweetness is not just for kids. Sweetness is what, when things are good and we're happy and we're motivated and we're ready to go, we're all much kinder and nicer people. That's what we want. There's an interesting idea, is that if you're going for a job interview and you're not going to turn up with scruffy clothes on and your hair not done and without makeup, because you want to do your best to impress. So even if you don't presently have a job and you're on the dole, you are still going to make the most of who you are and come the best you can be. And you're going to be speaking excited and motivatedly, because I want that job. When we turn up to Rosh Hashana, we're about to do a business deal with Hashem. We're asking him to forget the past, to wipe away everything that's we may not have done so correctly in the past. And we're saying we are motivated and committed that this year is going to be a better year. God, are you ready to do business? So just by acting, by getting dressed up, by putting really good food on the table, by making things the best things making it the best way it can be, this is dipping the apple in the honey, having round colors, doing everything right. This is turning around and saying, I'm committed, I'm motivated, doesn't matter what's thrown at me, I'm going to find a solution. We are going to make this year sweet and good. So with our round colors and our fish, either on the head or off the head, whichever way it goes, we are ready and committed that this year is going to be a good year, together with all of you.
Those things that openly go could be sweetened like the chocolate. See you, please go to the Hashana on Friday at 5:30 for the pre-Rosh Hashanah Zoom, and it's going to be with our special guest, Shmuley Weinbaum, singing live from a special location.
Anyone got any questions about the recipes, anything they want to know? You can unmute yourself now, put a question in the chat. We will stay on for another minute or two.
Can I ask about the mango? Can I ask about the mango?
Yeah.
You said this is not a sweet dish, but you were doing like with the tuna, and then you put the mango. Well, is that not sweet?
It's not. It's got an interesting flavor. It's like an Indian. It's an Indian style. It's got it's not sweet. It's more. It's got a tang to it. It's got real black pepper balls in it. It's quite that chutney is not so sweet. It's got an interesting flavor, but it's not just sweet.
It's tangy.
Tangy, yeah, it's tangy. It gives it a real kick. So you don't feel like I'm eating a piece of salmon. You're like, wow, this is a dish. Anyone else got a question? Go on, Louise.
I'm leaving in 5. Is that okay? Because I'm at the clinic, so I'm going to come round to yours now. Is that all right still?
That's just fine. Yeah, it's all ready for you, Louise.
I'm going. See you in 5.
Thank you very much, as always.
It's a pleasure. So good to see you here, Sandra.
Oh,
Rifki, can I ask you?
Go on, Sandy.
You know that in South Africa they put raisins in their challah on Rosh Hashana. Why don't we do that here?
Some people do. Some people put chocolate chips. It's really, I think the it depends which bakery you go, if you can find it. But yes, a lot of people put raisins in. It would be a really good idea if you want to do raisins. What I've seen them doing, instead of mixing chocolate and sugar, they mix cinnamon and sugar and put raisins in the challah. It's incredible because what that stops it doing, if you put just raisins on the top, often they burn. So you have to soak the raisins first before you put them on the top of the challah. So if you want them to still be moist and really, really good, put them inside the challah, hide them inside the challah, and it is out of this world. Really, thank you for sharing that, Sandy.
That's what they do. The first time I did not have one with raisins in was coming to this country. I was quite surprised.
You can correct that then, Sandy. This Rosh Hashana can be one. Put the raisins inside.
The other thing is, if you have a bread machine or something, you can just mix up the dough. You don't have to make a lot of dough, but make your own nice round challah. It is so good, and the house smells amazing, and it gives you a warmth. It gives you a hug. The food actually hugs you. It's not always healthy to talk about food as a pleasurable thing, and it gives us joy, but there's something special about a Rosh Hashana challah. So if you've got a bread machine and it can mix up the dough for you, and it's not even too much work, go for it. Nice to see you, Heidi.
No.
no.
Yeah, you can see that.
Hi, Donna. I'm sure Ian's walking in the kitchen cooking.
Okay, everyone.
Very good.
Really good to see you, and look forward to seeing you on Friday.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Hello.
Bye.
Everybody.
Bye.
Johnson.
Bye.
Shana Tova Umatuka.